Welcome to Reckless Paradise, everyone. I am your host, Marissa, and I'm here with my co-host, Dystro. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope everybody had a good weekend. My weekend was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I
Oh, sorry about that. I'm taking a drink. But yeah, I hope everybody had a good weekend. We're actually almost halfway through November already.
don't remind me.
Yeah, like, oh my God, like, we're literally almost done 2022. And that is just mind blowing because, like, I literally just feel like we just started the year.
Yeah.
You sound tired over there.
I'm just stretching.
Stretching. So,
Keep.
thank you guys for joining tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. Sit back, relax, grab a snack, grab a drink, do what you gotta do. It's Sunday. Sundays are meant for relaxing, and that's pretty much all I did today. I slept most of my day away
hmm
because I've been trying to catch up on sleep because the whole time changing fucking bullshit. It's like messing with my sleep schedule and But yeah, so tonight's episode is a bit of a bittersweet episode. Today is November 13th, which officially marks 17 years since we lost the late great Eddie Guerrero. Now, we have done an Eddie Guerrero episode on this channel in the past called Let's Talk Eddie Guerrero. I think we did this months ago, and I mean months ago. So, if you guys want to go over and check that out before checking this episode out, please go ahead and do so because you will find out literally everything about this guy from start to finish. We're not doing that in this episode today. We're basically doing a remembering Eddie Guerrero episode where we talk about our favorite moments, his best matches, basically just anything that's memorable about this guy.
hmm Sorry, I had to take a drink.
I feel you. Um, so Eddie passed away tragically at the age of 38 back in 2005 on November 13th. He was found dead in his hotel room in the bathroom. Um, I guess his heart gave out after, abusing painkillers for so long, even though he had cleaned up, like he was sober and everything at the time of his death. His heart just gave out at the age of 38. And it sucks because I feel like he recovered too late, like he
Mm,
recovered from his addiction too late. If he would have maybe recovered a little bit sooner, he probably could have saved his life. He probably could have added a couple or maybe even tens of years onto his life.
yeah, and plus he was still in his prime too.
Yeah.
That's the sad thing because like I think he had just wrestled Mr. Kennedy too, and that was his last match. And I was watching like a Chris Chris Van Vliet interview with Mr. Kennedy or Mr. Anderson from TNA. He was saying that like Mr. Kennedy was kind of like nervous because he was like like this is a big match for him and all this stuff. And he's like Eddie's like man, I got you, Holmes. It's just like he's like I got you, and they had like a really good match and all that stuff, and like then he heard Eddie had passed away, and so that he said like he just broke down in his hotel room. Like,
Oh, I couldn't even imagine, like, considering that Eddie wrestled Mr. Kennedy. That was his last match with anybody. It was on a SmackDown taping too, of all things. And I think
mhm,
Survivor Series was coming up at that point as well, and they were looking for people to recruit for the Survivor Series team for SmackDown.
yeah, it sucks because it's like like I said, like he was in his prime, and it's like you said, like if he had recovered like sooner, he would have like been still here to this day.
Yeah, he could have added years and years onto his life. Um, but yeah, he passed away, age of 38. Basically, his heart gave out. Final autopsy was heart failure, um, which that's just heartbreaking to hear, to be honest. And the thing is, his nephew Chavo was the one that found him. Like, can you imagine how Chavo must have felt?
I can't imagine how Vicky would have felt. Must have
Oh my
felt.
God, yeah, Vicky.
Vicky, Benoit, like anybody, like Ray, like anybody that knew him or knew of him, and it's like it's sad because it's like he was like he was I guess like I've heard from like like stories of him and all that stuff, like he was like not like a prankster, but he was kind of like an upbringer, sort of like somebody that would bring up the mood in the locker room, sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. He was just an overall genuine person inside and outside the ring.
Hmm.
And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people remember him for is just his personality. He was just a very genuine person. He was a family man. Family was always first. And so it was, God, because he was religious as well after he had recovered from the drug addiction that he had.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, let's start talking about some of these good moments that we can remember. I'm going to go first because, like, obviously, this is like a fan favorite for a lot of people. And it's when Eddie beat Brock Lesnar at No Way Out 2004.
Hmm. I remember that match because it's like it was like a lot of people were probably going in being like, okay, well, Brock's gonna win and all that crap and all that stuff. But then like swerve, bro. It's like fucking Goldberg comes in and just like spears the hell out of Brock Lesnar and shit. Like that was a good genuine moment and it sent the crowd home happy, which is a good thing.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, Eddie had just, recovered not too long ago from what happened. And I remember in the promo, like his little promo he cut on Brock Lesnar on SmackDown, I believe. It was like a week or two before their encounter at No Way Out, excuse me. He had cut a promo on Brock and he had mentioned everything. He lost his family due to his drug addiction. He literally lost himself. He lost his job. And he literally put that all in a promo. And that was probably one of the best promos I've ever heard from a professional wrestler in my life. And I'm not even being dramatic. Like, that is dead serious. One of the best promos anyone has ever cut.
Yeah, like I wasn't, I wasn't growing up around that, so it's like I don't really know much about that promo, but it's like there's some people that will take real life personal stuff and they will put it in a promo, not for sympathy, but being like, this is real life shit that we go through. Like John Moxley, for example, like he opened up about his alcohol abuse on like live television. It's like you don't see a lot of people doing that nowadays anymore.
It takes balls to do it. And I can definitely say Moxley and even Eddie had balls to put that in a promo or put that in a discussion on live television. Like, that
And,
is huge.
and it's
And
like
I'm proud of
it's
them for
surreal.
doing that.
It's surrealism because it's like there's like there's people behind the like behind the scenes being like or as a fan and stuff that's like, oh, okay, like, well, they don't have real life problems like we do. It's like, oh yeah, they do, because like they got relationship problems, they got family problems, they got alcohol drug abuse problems, and it's like you don't know what goes on in a wrestler's mind on a day-to-day basis. It's like, yes, they're on the road for like I don't know, like how many days out of the year, and it's like they're away from like real life, like for a long period of time.
Yeah. And it can definitely put strain on, them mentally, emotionally, just
And,
basically in general. It could put a lot of strain on them. And like you said, like I said, it takes balls to like discuss that stuff on live television. And I give props to Moxley and Eddie Guerrero for doing that kind of stuff.
mhm.
Now, what is one of your favorite moments or matches of Eddie that you can think of?
A favorite moment of mine. It, it's gonna sound silly, but it's when fucking Eddie stole Batista's lunch,
Oh yeah. Oh wait, I think it's the other way around. I think
or was it
Batista.
no? I
Batista
thought
took Eddie's lunch.
Batista took Eddie's lunch. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it was.
he's like, you're not gonna need this for the match or something like that. Like,
He's like, you're looking on you, bud. He's like looking like, did this motherfucker take my lunch? Like, the fuck?
I love that little scene backstage. This was like, I think this was when Eddie and Batista were like supposed to have like a match for the championship or something.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
It's for the World Heavyweight Champion, I believe, at the time. Um, Unfortunately, when Eddie had passed, I guess, I don't know how true this is, but I guess they were supposed to put the World Heavyweight Championship on Eddie.
Hmm.
Yeah, after going against Batista, Batista was supposed to take the loss. Again, I don't know how true this is, but I heard this somewhere. I don't remember where. It was like a couple years ago. But
I mean, like, their plans change all the time anyway, too. So it's like I think they had to call an audible sort of thing, and they were just like, okay, like Eddie's not here, God rest his soul and all this stuff. It's like I'm kind of, it's kind of like upsetting that they still went on a little bit because it's like like a man just died, and it's just like they're keeping on, but it's like I'm kind of glad that they did like a tribute show for him on Raw and stuff of that, and they gave us like Ray versus HBK on live TV,
you also
which
got to think
that's
about it in this way, too. Eddie wouldn't want the show to stop just because, he was gone.
true. Yeah, he would want the show to go on,
So, in a way, it's a
right?
good thing they kept going. Like, you can't just let one person's death bring the whole show to hell. Gotta keep going. Like, Eddie wouldn't want the show to stop. Eddie literally lived for this business,
He died for this business.
pretty much. Another memory I can think of is when Eddie messed around with the Big Show's burritos.
Oh,
Big Show had like an order of burritos come in, and
oh,
Eddie
I
put
remember
something
this.
in the burritos to the point where Big Show had to literally exit his match and go to the restroom.
I remember this.
Oh my god, I love that scene. It's so fucking funny.
Um,
Eddie was a prankster. He was
yeah,
comical, fucking comical.
and it's funny because like a match that comes to mind right away is I think it was, oh God, what was it? It was a SmackDown only pay-per-view at the time. And it was when they brought back the US Championship in like '04, and it was Eddie versus Benoit for the final.
Oh
And
jeez.
it was like Eddie doing his lying, cheating, stealing sort of thing. And like he he knocks the ref down. He like I think he went to go grab the US title, and he hits Benoit with it, and then he just sells like he just got hit, and he's like looking around, he's like trying to wake up the ref and stuff, and he's like, oh, I just got hit, and then he's looking around and stuff like that. He's like, Benoit's still down, the ref's still down, he's down, and it's like, and the crowd was just laughing because it's like, and Eddie's like thinking it's like shit, it's like my plan didn't work.
Oh my god. Jeez. I also remember another moment where him and Kurt Angle were. It was during the Kurt Angle and Guerrero feud. He was
Mm,
on SmackDown. He had a whole bunch of Kurt's stuff in the middle of the ring. He had his gold medals, and he had like a portrait picture of Kurt Angle, and he had a fucking mustache drawn on him with Sharpie.
I
He
remember
was
that.
trying to auction it off to the crowd, and it was fucking hilarious.
Um, hmm. The promo work between him and Ray the lead up to I think SummerSlam '05
Oh, with Dominic.
with Dominic, that was like some of his best heel work at that
Oh
time.
my god, the fucking video fucking thing they did with him and Dominic at the park.
And he's like, he's like, "You're gonna come home to papi." And I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Oh shit!"
Poor
And
Dominic.
yeah, it's like poor Dominic. I mean, like, it's like now, I mean, now look at him. He towers over his dad. Um, but like, it's like I kind of like if Eddie was still around, I could have like I could just picture Dominic being like, Eddie was my real father all this time, sort of thing.
Oh shit.
Like, yeah, it's just like, I mean, Eddie and Ray, I mean, that'd be a good instant classic on paper, but it's like we won't get to see that, it
Yeah.
sucks. And
Oh
it's
my
like,
god.
I think, Dom could like carry on Eddie's legacy if he was, his actual legitimate son. Um, just to see, like, just like Dom being like, oh, well, yeah, like Eddie was my real dad this whole time. It's like, he just looks up like, his family history and all that stuff. And it's like, I mean, we're gonna get that match at WrestleMania anyway. But that's besides the point. But like the match between Eddie and Ray, like SummerSlam '05 to WrestleMania 21 to the fucking Halloween Havoc match from '97 that they had. They've always had instant classics whenever they wrestled. They've
Yeah,
always had classics.
I definitely agree on that. Geez, too bad I wasn't really like I didn't get into wrestling until '07. I was 5 when I found WWE. It was at the height of I think Foley was still in the company at the time. Cena was just hitting his peak and everything when I found WWE. I was a little kid and stuff like that. So I had to kind of learn about Eddie myself as I got older, like
Mm.
hence right now. Um, but yeah. Another moment that just came to my head is when Guerrero stole JBL's tires from his limousine.
Oh yeah, that was the lead up to that that bloody match that they had.
I hate that match. It's like, wow. But yeah, JBL, he was leaving SmackDown and
Oh
he
yeah.
realized he had no tires on his vehicle. And all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you hear Eddie's fucking music hit. And he's going out of the ring, rolling the fucking tires down the ramp. And he puts a couple of them in the ring and he sits on one of them.
That'd be funny. He's like, "You looking for these homes?" It's like he's the feuds that he's had to like Eddie with like JBL, Rey Mysterio, Batista. Um, like I can't think of anybody else. Like, I well, Angle, of course. Um, but it's like he made. How am I trying to word this? He he took what he was given to him and he made instant gold out of it.
Yeah.
Like with with the Kurt Angle stuff, it's like he could be funny, but then when he gets into the ring, he's serious. Same with Kurt Angle. Like outside the ring, he could be funny, but in the ring, he could be serious, sort of thing.
Yeah. Like he puts
And
on a game face kind of thing in the ring.
right, right. And it's like it's good to have some comedic range because it's like you don't want to be super serious all the time, but you don't want to be super silly all the time.
Like I don't even mean to mention this name, but even Chris Benoit had some comedic side to him too.
Yeah.
I've seen interviews like backstage. I think he was the US champ at this time. He had like a record he was setting, like how fast he could beat his opponent. And
Oh
I guess
yeah.
he did a thing backstage. I don't remember what he was doing. He had the fucking interviewer with a stopwatch and he timed him doing something. I don't remember what he was doing, but it was fucking hilarious. Another moment that I can remember real quick about Eddie is the time where he took Vince McMahon in the lowrider, brought him out to the ring, and Vince was literally scared because like the lowrider was going up and down.
What the hell are you doing? Hey, what the hell are you doing?
The thing is, you're lucky. Like, if you can get Vince in a vehicle with you and go out to the ring with you, you're fucking lucky. Because, like, Vince is not one of those people to do that.
Mm,
Eddie
right.
was just one of those lucky people that actually got to do that with Vince.
It's like I think in Vince McMahon's head is like, okay, it's gonna make some good content for the fans, sort of thing. So he's like, I'd rather do it and get it over with.
And the thing is, like, even when Eddie died, like, I remember watching, I think it was like a documentary or something. Vince was on it. You never see Vince cry, but Vince cried. Like, you
Yeah.
knew Eddie was something special.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's like it was like that one WWE documentary that I have like I haven't seen it yet, but it's like I've like heard of it. It's a Cheating Death Stealing Life, the Eddie Guerrero story.
I have that.
It's like it shows like like he is like like you said, like he's a family man. He puts family first and all that stuff like that. And it's like it showed like when like he and Benoit like celebrated at the end of Mania 20, and
Yeah, I was just about to get to that too. That was going to be like our final moment to share on the show tonight.
it's like they broke through that glass ceiling, almost like grass ceiling, glass glass ceiling, because like like they were being put on a pedestal for like being not the heaviest guy in the world, like Triple H or Shawn Michaels,
They
for
weren't
example.
your stereotypical WWE superstar.
Right. They were a special kind of breed.
They were the underdogs of this business. They were the underdogs for sure. They did have good build though. Like I could definitely tell you right now, physically they were in fucking immaculate shape.
They were jacked.
Kinda, yeah, they were kind of jacked. And just I'm actually picturing it in my head right now the picture of Eddie and Benoit hugging at the end of WrestleMania 20. Now, context behind this: Guerrero was already champion at this
Mm-hmm.
time. He had defeated Brock at No Way Out. Fast forward to WrestleMania 20, he had to defend his title against Kurt Angle, and he won. So he retained his title. Now, as for Benoit, entering WrestleMania, he was not champion at this time, but he did just win the Royal Rumble that year after starting from the number one spot, which is crazy to think about. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he had to go on to face not one, but two people in a match, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. This was the first time that a triple threat had main evented WrestleMania, and this was for the World Heavyweight Championship. Benoit took the win. So this was Benoit's first championship victory ever. And this was just a really bittersweet WrestleMania because both of these guys, who are super talented but criminally underrated, finally had reached the top of the fucking ladder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like it's like so many years of hard work brought them to the dance, and they showed out. Like, I mean, like it was, like the main event of that Mania. It was bloody, but it told a good story behind it because it's like they were because Triple H and Shawn Michaels, they were both at each other's throats, but they wanted to take out Benoit because they're like he's nothing, like he's not going to be like us, sort of thing. And it's like, and fucking Benoit made Triple H tap, which that's something that you could put on your freaking resume, being like, I made Triple H tap out,
At WrestleMania, at the
at
biggest fucking
Mania.
stage of them all. Like, oh my god. It was such a bittersweet ending, like a bittersweet storybook ending. And I don't know who said this. I think this might have been David Benoit who said this in an interview. It might have been on Dark Side of the Ring. He said this. He said that after that point, they both should have just retired right there.
True, yeah.
They should have just retired right then and there. It was just a really bittersweet storybook ending to their climb to the top of the food chain kind of thing.
Mm,
And I'm really just picturing it the whole picture in my head right now of them hugging, and just like it's like giving me chills right now. Like, oh my god! And I'm wearing my Eddie shirt right now too, so like I definitely have chills right now. But yeah, I think that's gonna conclude our remembering Eddie episode for 17th. year of his passing. God bless him. Viva la raza. And man, we miss you, Eddie. Like, dead fucking serious. We fucking miss you.
Mm-hmm. And if he was still here to this day, I think he would have been influenced, or yeah, he would have influenced so many younger talent that is going up to through wrestling today. Like Sammy Guevara, for example. I know I hate bringing him up too, but it's like Sammy Guevara, for example, Ortiz, Santana, like all these guys that have either idolized him or want to kind of like resemble him in some way or just pay homage to him. It's like you could probably like if you actually ask somebody, be like, what's the first person you think of? Like if you think of like the Frog Splash, I would go automatically to Eddie Guerrero because
Yeah.
his Frog Splash was nice. His Frog Splash was nice.
Him and RVD are like my top two right there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, again, God bless him. I fucking miss him so much, even though I was like fucking 3 when he passed. I was 3 years old, so like at this time I was not watching wrestling yet. I was too young to remember anything.
I would have been almost 7.
Yeah, I didn't start remembering stuff till I was 5, and that was '07 when I started. So, yeah. So that's it. That is our Remembering Eddie episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys definitely need to check out Eddie Guerrero if you have not seen his matches. He's got some instant classics out there. And we've done an Eddie episode before where we mentioned matches, so go ahead and go find that. It's Let's Talk Eddie Guerrero. We did this months ago. Okay, so we got a couple things to discuss before we move on to the conclusion of this episode. One being our next episode for Thursday. So this Thursday, we're introducing another new series to the channel. Wow, a shocker. So I kind of got the idea from some website I used to use back in the day called Randomizer. So what we did, and what we're going to continue to do for the next several months, is we're going to do this with 2 different groups for now. We're going to do this with Billy Talent and AC/DC. We're going to take all the songs that we like and that we've listened to from these 2 groups and put them on a list, randomize it, and see what we get. Whatever is in the top 10, whichever songs are in the first 10 of the list, we're going to take those songs, take them out of the list, and rank them from 10 to 1 on a personal level. So, what's going to happen this Thursday? The new series is called, what did I call it? What did I call it?
I was supposed to, I don't even
Random ranking. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's called random ranking. So,
random ranking.
Like think of like iCarly. Instead of random dancing, it's random ranking. It's
Yes.
probably iCarly fans out there. So yes, we're doing this with Billy Talent. I've already put all 80 songs on a randomizer list and clicked randomize once. We already have our 10 songs ready to go for the first episode of Random Ranking Billy Talent Edition. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I'm not gonna name the songs right now. You guys will see this Thursday. So what we're going to do, we're going to take those 10 songs, rank them 10 to 1, just like we do any other ordinary top 10 list, just with no honorable mentions. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, because from Tales to Old as Time and stuff like that, it's like we've always either agreed or we disagreed.
Or we've been really close.
Yeah. So it is going to be interesting because, mind you, Marissa is the Billy Talent stan here.
I'm the biggest fan right here.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like growing into more of a solid fan, but it's like I just listened to her ramble on about BT for forever and stuff like that. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, all right. But it's
So
like,
the thing is,
I'm just supporting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, yeah, you're getting into them more. Like, we've listened to every single album together, so, and I'm gonna be showing you the cover songs they've done tonight. So yeah, we're doing this with Billy Talent, but we're also gonna do AC/DC in the future as well, because there's a shit ton of AC/DC songs that we know and that we've listened to, and we're still not done all the albums. So it's gonna be interesting. Eventually, we will do more groups as time goes on, but right now we're focusing on just building talent in AC/DC because those are the two groups we know quite well at this point. So if you guys are interested in seeing Random Ranking Episode 1, check it out this Thursday. It's going to be fucking fun. Now, actually, there's kind of 3 things I want to talk about. I also would like to announce this upcoming Sunday's episode, a week from today. Oh, excuse me, I got a fucking sore throat coming on. So this Thursday. Oh wait, this Thursday already announced. What am I saying? This Sunday. I'm getting my days mixed up, to be honest. Like, all these days are like blending in. So this Sunday, week from today, let's talk rivalries. We had mentioned doing this in the past. We wanted to do some episodes about some famous rivalries from pro wrestling. We are doing my all-time favorite, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. This is going to be probably one of my top 5 favorite episodes we've done on this channel so far. I love the Triple H and Shawn Michaels rivalry so much. I was like born in 2002, and this is when the rivalry started. But I found this rivalry on WWE 2K15. I found it out through the showcase thing that they had for the game. I played the showcase. I watched the story. I even went and did my own little watch along on YouTube and like watched a couple of the real matches, the real deal from the rivalry, and it's just a really good story. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. So that'll be a week from today. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to stay tuned for next Sunday. And last but not least, I have Song of the Night. So I think tonight's Song of the Night, we're going to go with this. Today marks the 2-year anniversary since AC/DC dropped their album Power Up, which immediately shot to the charts and as number 1. It literally shot to the charts overnight. It shot to number 1 over fucking night. Probably one of my favorite albums right now by AC/DC, next to Fly on the Wall. So yeah, I remember when this album came out too. I actually didn't even know AC/DC was coming out with an album in 2020, which is kind of mind-blowing to think they did that in 2020 because, the pandemic. And I had mentioned previously in 2020, not a lot of bands released a lot of new material because of COVID and they couldn't meet up to do stuff. But AC/DC still managed to put out a fucking banger of an album in 2020. This definitely made up for the Rock or Bust album they dropped in 2014, which was a bit of a bust. And I can definitely say that myself because, yes, we did listen to it, and it was not really my favorite. But Power Up exceeded my expectations, and I absolutely love it. So happy 2-year birthday to Power Up. And because of that, tonight's Song of the Night is Code Red, which is the album closer of Power Up. It's probably one of the underrated songs on the album. One of the underdogs will call it. I love it. It's groovy. Has a good vibe to it. It's a good album closer. So if you guys want to hear Code Red by AC/DC, be sure to click on the top right-hand corner of the video towards the end where the link should pop up. So if you guys stuck around to the very end, we really appreciate your support as per usual. Be sure to go follow us on social media by clicking on the link in the description below, which will take you to our link tree, which has everything there that you need, such as Dystro's gaming YouTube channel, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram. Actually, I don't even think I put Instagram there yet, did I? I might have. I think I put Instagram there. TikTok, basically everything. So be sure to go follow us on social media to also keep up to date with the podcast in case something goes wrong. We can't upload that night. So that's it. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to go listen to tonight's Song of the Night. And we'll catch you guys this Thursday. Peace.
Peace.